Hi, myself Sabari Rajan, Assistant Professor in the Department of Trauma Care Management, Yenepoya School of Allied Health Sciences, Yenepoya deemed to be University. So today topic we are going to discuss about the organophosphate poisoning. So before moving on to the topic, we are going to see about the specific learning objectives. So before you are attending the session, after that you want to analyze define the organophosphate poisoning and this clinical significance, classify the different types of organophosphate compounds, identify the common sources and routes of exposure, explain the pathophysiology of organophosphate poisoning, identify the clinical features of toxicity and describe the appropriate diagnostic investigations. And finally, you can discuss the principles of management and treatment strategies. So moving on to the introduction, as organophosphate are used as an agriculture and also domestic insecticides. So poisoning by them it's quite common, and also you can see in while you are spraying on your occupational area, such as during the spraying in the field, or it may be accidental or intentional, suicidal also we can take. So while onset of symptoms, it's often sometime within minutes, it goes into beyond into hours. So the exposure can be from ingestion, inhalation and also absorption. So ingestion, so directly sometimes they can taken by via mouth, and inhalation sometimes they are vaporized form, they can be via inhalation route, and absorption sometimes the skin getting absorbed because of the chemical compounds. So these are the classification. There are more hundred of organophosphorus will be there, or compounds also will be there here commonly used, but this classification depending upon the toxicity and also clinically uses will be there. So first we are going to see the highly toxically organophosphate, example tetraethyl pyrophosphate and also parathion. These are mainly used as an in agriculture insecticides. And intermediately toxic organophosphate, example coumaphos, trichlorophon. These are used as an animal insecticides. And compared to low toxicity, example malathion, trichlorovos. These are used as an household application, and also they are using as a sprays, particularly cockroach killers and also rat killer. These are all they are using the low toxicity. So coming on to the sources, there are two variants will be there. One is home exposure, and also you can see the occupational exposure. So before going to see the home exposure, this occur in every household areas. Particularly most of the time they can take by a accidental only. So accidental children or adults may accidentally consume pesticides. They are stored improperly. So commonly you can see in the rural homes. So sometimes they can be pesticide they kept in on your drinking bottles. That's why most of the time the children especially they can attract the color, they can taken by via ingestion route. So lawn and garden use, sometimes most of the time you can see in the insecticides for home gardening. So either way they are maintaining the home gardening, they are using the pesticides killers. So and also exposure through via skin contact, otherwise sometimes inhalation route can be goes. So insect control, sometimes they are using as a sprays, or also mosquito repellents and cockroach killers. So leads chronic low level exposure because it's a low toxicity. So it can taken into up to months, or it can be years also. But in case they are suppose they are directly taken by a ingestion route, it can be a acute toxicity. So moving on to the second one, it's occupational exposure seen in the people working directly on your pesticide area, at factory areas. These are the people a high risk group. So first you're gonna see in the farmers and then farm workers. So farmers it's different, and farm workers also different, because farmers they are while doing spraying also they can spray, and farm workers they are doing farm and also they are making also pesticide killer also. So they are making a natural spray or artificial. So exposure during via spraying in field, but inhalation the skin absorption is the most common one. Particularly if high dose exposure when will be happen, if personal protective equipment is not used, that time it a lead into high exposure of toxicity. Sudden onset of symptom will be there, that can lead into toxicity or into hypertoxicity. So mixing and handling, comparatively you can see in the preparing the pesticide solution, particularly you can see in the industrial areas. So very dangerous because of like due to concentrate of chemical. Sometimes they can be absorbed directly into inhalation route or by skin absorption also may be occur. So coming on to the pathophysiology, normally this nerves and muscle will be called as a neuromuscular transmitters. So before moving on to the pathophysiology, we're gonna see somewhat like normal physiology. So what will happen like in nerves, so particularly they are releasing some called as an acetylcholine. This acetylcholine directly they want to open it out, it will come into the synaptic cleft. One synaptic cleft will become, and then they will be binding into the two receptor called as a muscarinic and nicotinic receptor. Once they function in get over, and then they directly break into enzyme. So one enzyme will be coming onto your area, it's called as an acetylcholinesterase. This acetylcholinesterase only they will break down, and also like they are functioning like a normal way, like neuromuscular will be normally it goes. But in organophosphate, whenever they are entering to organophosphate, this will be directly binding on your acetylcholinesterase and inhibit the functioning of your areas. So can lead into like you can see that area, this acetylcholine will be like they directly it will be stayed on your synaptic cleft, thereby like so many of your neuromuscular will be activation will be comes out because of your so much of acetylcholine can be binding onto your muscarinic and nicotinic, and also they can like overstimulation can happen, so can lead into like cholinergic receptors, like you can tell them called as an like a killer bees. So these are the mnemonic, like in case of effort will be like more amount of inhibition get happen, the mnemonic called as an sludge, dumbbells, and also like killer bees. So sludge you can see the salivation, lacrimation, urinary incontinence, defecation, gastrointestinal pain, and emesis. Sometimes they can be goes on your defecation, urination, it can lead into like muscle weakness or meiosis, bradycardia. These are the killer bees, like 3 bees will be there. So bradycardia, bronchoria, and then bronchospasm, and also like emesis, lacrimation, and salivation. So these are the killer bees. So we are most of the time we are gonna see in any kind of patient startingly will be like a tachycardia, so it can progress into going into the bradycardia mode. That's why you can in case of they are taking acute toxicity, this killer bees is the most prominent one. It's called as like bradycardia and bronchoria and then bronchospasm. So pharmacokinetics, most organophosphate like a highly lipid soluble, so they can be absorbed by easily from intact on your skin or like oral mucous membrane, or like in case of conjunctiva and then GA tract, sometimes they can goes into respiratory tract also, but they are like rapidly redistribute to your all body tissue because of your highly lipid soluble. So highest concentrated where will be reach over there in your liver and then kidneys. So whenever like highly lipid soluble, you have to think about it, they can easily cross on your blood brain barrier, therefore like it will be produce effect on your CNS, that's why they will be affecting on your nicotinic receptors. So metabolism, sometimes they occur by oxidation in the liver and constituted and expressed by hydrolysis. Their half-life will be comes around like sometime minutes, it can goes into hours or like it will be days also. So elimination of organophosphate compounds, sometimes they will be metabolized, can excrete via urine, bile, and then feces. So investigation, particularly you can take this 4 investigation, it can be analyzed by easily. One is like arterial blood gas, you can check detect the metabolic acidosis, especially like wide anion gap metabolic acidosis, and also like hypoxia and then hypercapnia. Serum electrolytes, they can be imbalance will be there because of your vomiting or like in case of diarrhea. Electrocardiogram, you can check to detect the arrhythmia will be there, sometimes bradycardia or like QT prolongation will be occur. Chest X-ray, you can see the aspiration pneumonia or like pulmonary edema. So cardiac magnification, so these 2 magnifications are important, one is like cardiac and then respiratory. So first you are going to see the cardiac, this is like commonest one. So following pathogenic will be occur, like starting will be hypotension, like warm dilated peripheries will be there, and also like bradycardia. Sometimes they seldom like present with tachycardia also and then hypertension because of your predominantly increase on your neuronicotinic receptor stimulation. That's why only it will be like a sometimes they can present with bradycardia or like tachycardia with hypertension also. So cardiac manifestation like a serious complication and also like mortality will be high. So is electrocardiogram, you can see the include the prolonged QT interval and also like elevation of ST segment, inverted T wave and also like prolonged PR interval. So sometimes they can be made rhythm abnormalities will be happen, such as like sinus bradycardia, like normal bradycardia, and also like ventricular tachycardia or like ventricular fibrillation. So these two rhythm, ventricular tachycardia, especially ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation, so sometimes maybe get happen because of your, if you are not treated by well properly, so this bradycardia sometimes they can worsen into AV block or like arrhythmia can lead into cardiac arrest. So moving on to the respiratory manifestations. So respiratory like acute, it will be include like rhinorrhea, sometimes bronchospasm and also like laryngeal spasms also. So due to the action of your organophosphate on muscarinic receptor. Before in cardiac manifestation we seen the nicotinic receptor. This respiratory particularly we are seeing the muscarinic receptors. The integrity of airways sometimes may be compromised because of your more amount of secretions will be there. So this nicotinic effect sometimes they can be lead into weakness of your muscle weakness and also sometimes they can be lead into respiratory paralysis or like your oral pharyngeal muscle also get weakness. So reason like because of your over simulation of your muscarinic can into like salivation will become so much of secretions will be there. In the nicotinic the muscle will be getting to weakness mode. If muscle get weakness means it can lead into like respiratory arrest also. It is one of the most dangerous of your, particularly if you are not treated the organophosphate. So this increased like if you are not treated by properly, sometimes they can lead into like airway obstruction. So more amount of gastric content will be aspiration. So can lead into like aspiration pneumonia. So management, so deliver the 100% of oxygen via face masks and also like early tracheal intubation is required for rapid sequence intubation. So use non-depolarizing muscular blocking agent, example like rocuronium, because of instead of succinyl choline has a one of the enzyme that directly block into the pseudochlorine esterase. If pseudochlorine esterase they block, more amount of acetylcholine will be staying over there. So that's why we avoided the succinyl choline. Decontamination of ingestion within 1 hour, use the activated charcoal 1 gram per kg orally once in children, maximum like 50 gram. So atropine 0.05 mg per kg IV or AM in children, maximum like 2 mg per dose. So 1 to 2 mg IV or IM bolus in adults until toxicity. This is the first drug we are going to start in atropine area. Once you are starting will be there, you can escalate into double dose also in every like 3 to 5 minutes until you are achieve the atropinization. Atropinization means you have to clear the bronchial secretion and also wheezing have to stop. So inhale nebulization you can give. If ipratropium will be there, ipratropium you can give like 0.5 mg with parenteral atropine may be helpful for your bronchospasm. You can repeat also. Paraloxim like it's one of the antidote of drugs, otherwise they called as an 2-PAM, 20 mg per kg IV bolus or like 24-50 mg per kg IV in children. So maximum like single dose 2 gram over like 50 to 30 minutes. So benzodiazepine sometime in patient with seizure or like agitation or coma, or in case of apnea or neuromuscular paralysis, you can start by diazepam. So 10 mg IV, 0.1 to 0.2 mg per kg IV in children. Repeat as necessary like every 5 to 10 minutes if seizure get cured. So summary of the topic, organophosphate poisoning is a common and potentially fatal poisoning also, especially in agricultural settings. It's had by irreversible inhibition of acetylcholine esterase, leading to more amount of accumulation of acetylcholine. This result in cholinergic crisis affecting on your muscarinic, nicotinic and CNS receptor. So clinical features like include excess secretion, respiratory distress, muscle weakness and altered consciousness. So early and aggressive treatment with airway support, atropine and paradoxim like is a life-saving one. Respiratory failure is the leading cause of mortality. Emphasizing is the importance of the early intervention. So these are my reference. Thank you.